A self-empowered YouTube channel. I am so happy you're here. Today's pick a card reading is for the Akashic Records. There are 4 piles. There is going to be a 2-minute meditation where you can focus on the piles, and I encourage you to just really take some deep breaths, soak in, sink in to the moment, to the space that you are in. Quiet your mind and just notice what pile you're being drawn to. What pile is grabbing your focus? What pile do your eyes keep coming back to? What pile are you feeling pulled from your gut? Something that feels like it's coming from your subconscious, and try really hard to quiet that conscious mind. Something I always try to encourage everyone that comes to my channel is to remain open to receiving the message that comes through. I really encourage you to stay curious. If something is not resonating in this moment, just stay curious. Maybe it will resonate in a week, in a month. Down the road at some point, you'll go and say, oh, that was that thing. That was that message I was receiving in that reading, and it just didn't make sense at the time, and now it's making sense. What happens when you receive this message is that as you're going through your daily life, things will start to sync up, and you'll notice it more the more open you are to receiving it. So the universe might be sending you other little messages, and as you're remaining open, you're kind of picking up those intuitive hits and noticing those synchronicities or just anything that's feeling like it's resonating really deeply with you. And I want to encourage you all that if you're feeling drawn to more than one pile, check out the other pile. There might be a message in there for you. Or if you aren't sure what pile to pick, watch all the videos. Honestly, I think that you'll be able to get an intuitive hit for one that might be resonating with you more. So just stay open and curious where you're being drawn, or where those intuitive hits are coming up for you. And as an empowerment coach, it's really important for me to let you know that you are in choice, especially with the Akashic Records. You have free will. So as you make decisions in your life, it's going to kind of shift the outcomes. So just remember that you're in choice around how you want to integrate this information in your life. It's meant to be a tool. It's meant to help you think more deeply about your life and maybe take a pause or take a notice to what is coming up for you in your life currently. And that also being said, I should say that like at another date, if you want to come back to this reading and pick a pile intuitively again, there might be a message in that pile at a later date for you. So with that, we will begin the meditation shortly here. I will just say, if you're enjoying the channel, if you're enjoying my readings and you want to support me, please like and subscribe. Even better, want to leave a comment and let me know how this reading landed with you. That would be awesome. So until we meet again, enjoy the reading. Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3, Pile 4, Okay, pile one. Welcome to your reading. So, upon opening the Akashic Records for this pile, I noticed the energy was similar to when somebody's, say, on a boat or swimming and you're kind of like bobbing and you're feeling pulled in many directions. The energy felt very similar to, yeah, just to the point where you never been on a boat for too long, walk away and you're going about your day and you still feel like you're in the motion of the water, like you're still bobbing. And that's the energy I'm feeling this group. Um, and it didn't really come across as like an enjoyment. It felt like it was lasting a little too long. And maybe that's resonating for you, something in your life that you're feeling like, okay, I'm ready to get off the boat. I'm ready for the treading water, the bobbing in the water to just end, and I'm ready to be still. So I'm definitely noticing that energy with L ones. I've got two cards here. First card is going to be the situation, and the second card is going to be the best course of action. So first card is in reverse. Okay, we have 7 cups. I trust myself to see the truth. And so it's in reverse. And what I'm getting is um, some energy around clearly that you're feeling. Just going to sit with that for a second. Okay, so as I'm sitting with this card, the word that keeps being visually sent to me is dishonor. And I know that this card talks more about trusting yourself, but the word that's coming through around this is dishonor, dishonesty, feeling maybe there's something going on in your life where um, you have broken trust with yourself. You've dishonored your integrity. Um, you've done something that is causing you to feel that it's not even so much other people that you can't trust. It's first yourself and using yourself as like a credibility source, right? So if we trust ourselves, it's the backbone. It's how we have it's our foundation, right? So what I'm noticing is maybe something for pile ones has happened that has caused you to feel like you can't trust yourself. You were dishonest or dishonoring to things like integrity. And so that word just came through really strongly when I got this card. So now let's just kind of take a peek next to best course of action around this feeling. Page of Pentacles. I'm open to opportunities of personal growth. Okay, so actually between the what I'm seeing on the card and also what's coming through for this card is like this kind of is coming through as like a spotlight on something. So in this card I'm getting something happened that has caused you to lose credibility with yourself. And this is telling you the opportunity lies in you shining light on it. So instead of turning away, instead of trying to sweep things under the rug, instead of moving forward with not trusting yourself and feeling like you need to, I don't know, that it's kind of this. I get this delay in like delay in progress around this card. Like when you're not able to see the truth, it means that it's harder for you to go forward. It's harder for you to move forward with the decision. It's harder for you to, um, yeah, just really getting something about like it's stunting you and keeping you. Well, it's kind of keeping. Actually, what's coming to me right now is coming. It's keeping you in that energy that I talked about when we opened the records. That energy of just treading water and bobbing in the water and feeling just disoriented. Um, you're not standing strong. You're feeling really um weakened, and disoriented is the word that keeps coming up. It's like you're in the water for too long and you get on land, you still feel like you're moving. And I'm getting that from this card and from the records, is just that my pile ones might be going through something um, that might be work related. It could be relationship related. It could be even just something in your own life or between your relationship with yourself, but it's leaving you with that the consistent, like for all of pile one, what I'm getting is that it's leaving you in this state of energy that is not getting you anywhere. And it feels a lot like, yeah, you're just trying to, you're you're staying in a very stagnant place, and it feels like the energy around my pile ones is like a body of water. It's like you're dumped in the Atlantic. You're not in a pond. You're not in a pond. You're on a lake. You're on a river. You're not just going to swim your way back. You're kind of in this, every direction you look feels like you cannot see land. Like you can't see the end of it, and you're bobbing there. And that's because you need to rely on yourself in order to get ahead. Not ahead necessarily, but get to where you're going. To get to the point where you can see land, you're gonna need to rebuild that trust. And the only way you're gonna be able to rebuild that trust is through actually spotting, like shining a light on it and recognizing there is an opportunity in what is not working here. There's an opportunity in a um, challenge I'm having, a mistake that may have occurred that caused you to start to distrust yourself. What I'm getting is that you remaining open, you not focusing on feeling like, hey, there's no options, there's no way forward. I don't know how to rebuild land. Like, I'm going to step away from these cards. These cards are connecting a lot to what I'm getting in the records, but what I'm also getting is just this need to really speak into the fact that when you're in that state, in the water, you're looking around and you don't see anything. And you're just like, where am I going? Like, where's the next step? Where's the next place? This doesn't feel right, but yet I got all the way out here and I don't know how to get back. It's recognizing that where you are in the middle of that ocean is maybe right where you need to be right now, and be in that moment to start rebuilding your relationship with yourself. And when you rebuild a relationship with yourself, I bet you anything what I'm seeing in the records right now, actually, what I'm seeing is have you ever been out on water and you've looked and all of a sudden it's like the this land becomes more visible, like it was always there, you know, you're not just in the ocean, you're starting to see something from the distance and it becomes clear. And as you rebuild that relationship with yourself, as you learn to trust yourself more, you're going to be able to see more vividly what is ahead. But right now, you're keeping yourself in the middle of the ocean. And you need to look at the opportunities that lie in what is occurring in your life as it's making me grow. It's building my skill set and my ability to know myself better, to understand the choices I've made and the outcomes and how I might want to shift that in the future. All of these, I mean, it's all it's all about your outlook that can really start to shift your life, like whether it's a bad thing or a good thing that happens. I love that quote, like nothing is good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. I mean, this is kind of what I'm seeing here, is that things are going to happen in life, but it's really how you view it and how you are open to viewing it that's going to start to shift that energy, and it's going to start to get you to feel stronger so you can swim to that land. Okay, so I think let's go ahead and get some oracle cards. So I'm going to go with secret language of light here, and we just want to connect to the soul a little bit deeper. What is a way that we can bridge this? So we have the situation, we have the opportunity. What is the way we can bridge it? How do we help you to start trusting yourself again? This card flew out. Let your light shine. Okay, right away, what's coming through for me is just like, what is going on here? Do you see these images? There is something that you're blocking yourself from. There is something that you're literally dimming your light. This is here. It's here. It's saying, hello, this is how we make it happen. You need to let your light shine. You let your light shine, and this is going to be easier. That land isn't about swimming out to that land you're trying to get to. It's about the land comes from you. That's what I'm seeing right now. They're showing me that the world that you're trying to reach is within you. I'm literally like seeing. So I'm part of my way I receive information through the records is visually. So what I'm seeing is in someone's chest, literally like a city coming out of them, like buildings and foundation, and it's all coming from that heart center, just like you're seeing here. Let's go ahead and let's ask, what is holding you back? Situation. So we know that you need to connect to the heart. We know that you need to build the foundation from within. We know you need to shift your mindset so that you can shift your mindset so that you can find the opportunities that are going to help you grow and help you get out of this state where you're just bobbing in this water. Oh. Okay. So upon shuffling, I was asking the question of like, what is holding you back from being able to move forward in this path? And I got the card, Get Wild. And immediately what was coming up for me as this card flipped over was, there's something that happened. There's something that happened. Maybe you got wild, maybe you got a little too wild, and you made a decision or choice that started to break down your trust in yourself. And I don't think this has to be literal. I think this concept comes to like the Get Wild is I guess the principle or concept of doing something that is breaking the mold, like doing something that would be out of the norm or out of um, your natural way of being. And in this instance, because I was asking the question, what I'm getting is it was something that, like, maybe it wasn't so bad, but it did something to cause you to break your trust down. So, yeah, so what I'm getting is it doesn't necessarily mean that maybe for some people in this reading, you did do something that is um, caused you some kind of, it was dishonest or it was a breakdown of dishonor or something along those words. Maybe for other people in this group, it's just purely your view. Like you feel you did something and that's causing you to um, distrust yourself. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe you have to go back and look at the situation and look for the opportunities. You know, sometimes I had a situation where I basically uh, convinced myself, not convinced myself, I had a situation where I like got myself out of a position at a company I was working at. I was like, hey, I want something new. I want to be challenged. I want to grow. Meanwhile, the new role I took ended up being phased out because of long story, very long story. But, you know, there's two ways to look at that situation. I could look at that situation about what came after. Lots of good things came after that, but in the moment, it felt awful. It felt like, why did I do that? Why did I speak up? Why did I take this new role? I could have stayed in my role and would have stayed at the company and wouldn't have had an issue when they decided to cut all the jobs in the new department that I was in. So, you know, I think that that's just an example of how when we sometimes think we stand up for ourselves, we are doing the right thing, we have maybe in the moment an outcome that isn't ideal. And it's hard for us to know because we're not seeing that higher perspective. We don't see what's coming. And so we think, okay, what did I do? I did something wrong. And maybe there was an opportunity to handle the situation differently. But maybe that needed to happen to get you where you're going. And what I'm seeing is where you're going is you're building from within. By letting your light shine, by letting yourself see the opportunities, you're creating a reality that gets you out of the water. Whether the land is coming from you or you're swimming to it, you know, what I'm seeing is it's coming from you. You know, that's going to change. Yeah, it's just going to be how you move forward from the situation. So I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you so much, Pile One, for being open to this reading. I just want to take this moment to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for this reading. And may guidance that is in love and light be with you. Until next time. Welcome, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So, upon opening the records for Pile 2, I noticed lots of hyper energy, very, very, very fast energy. So that's all I got upon opening the records, and I'm super curious to find out what we're going to find in our tarot cards here. This first card is a situation, and this second card is the best course of action. So for this first one, we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Pentacles. I celebrate everything I achieve. And I definitely get that. I get that from the energy of my pile twos they're excited. Like it wasn't a bad energy that I was getting. It was just a very hyper energy. And seeing this card, I'm really seeing the power that my pile twos have to be excited, be um, the ability to celebrate, and really feel, I don't know, just very energized by life is what I'm getting. So let's see. So that doesn't seem like a very bad situation, but let's kind of take a look at what the best course of action has to say about things. King of Swords. I trust my ability to make a strategic decision. Okay. Very interesting combo here. And as I'm seeing this combo, what I'm seeing is that maybe this puts this more in context for me. So what I'm seeing is that celebrating everything you achieve, I don't see that ever as a bad thing. I think it's an important thing, but sometimes we can spread ourselves very thin on our priorities. And this card is saying you need to kind of zone in your focus on what you really want, well, what you really want to put your focus in. You need to zone in your energy. You need to kind of channel your energy and slow it down and be a lot more intentional about where you're putting your focus. I think right off the bat, I want to get an oracle card here because I want to understand what is the opportunity in slowing down. So, what's the opportunity in trusting your ability to make a strategic decision? If you're doing so well and you're celebrating all the things you're achieving and you're achieving everything, what is the opportunity in being strategic? These easy cards. I'm going to read all of these because I feel it. I'm feeling it. Okay. These all came flying out of the deck, as you heard maybe the big plump. So grounding, nothing has gone wrong, and expansion. Okay. So what I'm getting from these cards is it's important to, so nothing's gone wrong. So things are going really great for my pile twos. I mean, on some level, whether it's strictly to you, personal, or it's in relation to other people, my pile twos are like good to go in a lot of ways, and it's okay because things are not going wrong. Things are being achieved. There is, when I see a card like this come out, I see the confidence that someone has to recognize themselves in their process when the wins are coming through. So like some people don't celebrate even when they have had some kind of win in their life. And I mean, that's kind of a general statement. What I mean is like, I finished everything on my to-do list today. Like anything that feels like accomplishment. Some people may not take the time to celebrate that. And actually, you do need to celebrate that because you kind of need to keep filling yourself up. Filling yourself up and recognizing, because it's so easy for us to recognize the things that are going wrong in our life. It's much harder for most people, not everyone. I would say not my pile twos, but for people to put this in a deeper context, struggle to just give themselves a break And I feel like with my pile twos, you're good. You understand that it's important to celebrate what you're achieving. You're recognizing that nothing's gone wrong. And here's where the opportunity lies. What does that mean? Well, what it means is um, you have an opportunity to ground and expand. And from that comes from trusting your ability to make strategic decisions by zoning in, by really getting focused, by grounding your energy. So you're doers. I mean, you all have doer energy written all over you. I felt that upon opening the records. But in that process, you need to stay grounded. You need to slow yourself down and ground yourself. And in the process of doing that, when you're being more strategic, when you're being more able to kind of prioritize what is really important to you and what is worth the time and effort and what is worth recognizing, um, it's going to offer you a level of expansion. And that's going to get you even further. So it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with celebrating. I want to be really clear with my pile twos. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but it's spreading your energy thin and it's not helping you get further in your life. There's nothing gone wrong. There's almost no reason for my pile twos to even be viewing this video. I'll be honest. But what I'm getting is there is opportunity. If you slow yourself down, if you are more strategic, if you are more focused, you're going to be expanding. You're going to get what I'm getting with my pile twos is it's kind of like slowing down in order to jump ahead. So you're doing great. You're doing great. You cross things off your to-do list. Maybe like work is going perfectly fine. Maybe your relationships are going great. But there's a bit of a busy bee kind of energy, and it's not the type of energy that's going to get you to that next place that you're wanting to go. Whatever you are, maybe there's a deeper longing in you. I'm just getting a visual right now, so I'm just going to sit with that for a second. So what I'm seeing, so I'm sorry I get derailed by this image, but when the records are showing me stuff, they're showing me stuff. So what I'm getting right now is that you're showing me that you're holding something in your hands very close to your stomach, to your belly, right about where your belly button is. And it's like you're not telling anyone there's something that you want. And I'm getting that a lot with my pile twos. I'm actually a huge smile on my face because you're not telling anyone and you want this thing and you're really proud of all that you're accomplishing in your life, but this thing is going to take you in a bigger direction. It's a bigger dream. It's a bigger goal that you have for yourself. And it's almost like you don't want to share it and you're not ready. And you've got great energy and there's no reason for you to doubt that you won't be able to achieve it, but you're feeling like okay, what I heard was it's almost too grand to hold. It's almost too grand to hold. So you're dreaming huge. Oh my goodness, my pile twos. Whoa. You are I'm like I want this reading to go on forever because all of a sudden I just feel like I hit something really special and deep inside my pile twos. You are holding something that is so grand. And you're like, there's like my pile twos. I don't know if this is true for all my pile twos, but I get this sense that my pile twos know they can achieve it, but there's something holding them back. It's almost like they're very, very good at getting things done, and it's such like what I'm getting is like it's such a huge risk. It's such a bigger risk. What if this is the thing that I can't get done? It's easier to stay with small things to do. and achieve those and everything's fine. But what about this? This is much bigger. So I just want to gently remind my pile twos again. There's nothing that can hurt from grounding yourself. There's nothing that can hurt from building this trust and making a strategic decision, because my pile twos, nothing has gone wrong. If nothing has gone wrong, then what makes you think that you cannot step in to this grand desire of yours, as long as you're trusting your abilities to make decisions? And how do you do that? You got to slow down. You've got to ground your energy. When you ground your energy, you become more clear. The hyper energy, all this great stuff, they're also distractions. It's going to help you expand. Okay, I want to get one more card. Okay, one more card. We're getting crazy here. Because pile twos, you've got something you're holding, and it's grand, and it makes it like it's like this little dream that you. It's if you had like a piece of paper and you were just kind of like looking at it, like peeking at it, like from like I'm seeing kind of this energy in my pile of like it's like a website that you look at all the time and you're like, oh, I love this website, I want to create a website like this someday, or I want a business like this, or I want to buy these. I'm like obsessed with this hat designer in Montreal, and I will, and these hats are quite expensive, but I will just go look at them all the time because they just bring me so much joy, and it's just such a like a fantasy of mine to like have some of these hats that like I don't know if I could pull off, but I love them. And I feel that with my pile twos are like you're consuming this dream and you're living in the daydream of it all. But you're definitely not sharing it. You're keeping it very close. So for my pile twos, what's the next? Let me see. What do I want to ask here that would best help you? I'm gonna ask. I want to expand on the trusting my ability to make a strategic decision. How do my pile twos learn to trust their ability? There we have it. Get creative. Okay? So, something in your creative energy is going to help you trust. It's something also related to this dream that you have, this brand desire that you have. Um and it being okay, what I'm getting is being in the creative space is going to uh, what I'm hearing is it's going to grow roots. It's going to grow roots. I'm literally like seeing like roots go out. It's gonna like fill, like the roots are gonna grow, and it's gonna, what I'm seeing is this like person that's, the image I'm getting is like somebody like, what's the word I'm trying to look for here? Just very engrossed in writing and just like really in that space, like in the flow. And out comes these roots. And it's almost like the roots are being planted, the foundation is being built without you actually having to check off the list. You're not checking, it's not an energy of checking off the list. It's you're so in your flow and you're so in that creative space that it's like the roots come in to the foundation and lift up this dream of yours, lift up this desire that you have. I like, honestly, for my Paul twos, if this is resonating for you, maybe it's not resonating today. Maybe you come back and revisit this video later. Um, but what I want to say is, I want to hear these dreams. I want you to feel welcomed to share in the comments of this video. Uh, what are you thinking? And how can we support you? How can the self empowered community support you? The ask is, what are you dreaming of? How can we support you? If you're not comfortable yet sharing the idea, hey, I get it. Then my question is, how can we support you? Um, that's all I'm seeing for my Pal twos. I feel so honored to have done this reading for everyone I do it for every single person that watches these videos. I feel so honored to be in this space with you all. But I also am just feeling this really special power in Pile 2 that's making me feel like I need to speak into this and just say, the best part of the work I do when I work one-on-one with people is that I get to help support them and help them feel empowered by who they are, by the world and life that they want to create. And that is an honor. I don't take that, I don't think there's any other word I could ever use, because being in that space one-on-one with clients is so special. It's so special to know somebody in that way. It's so special, and it's such an honor to see what they're holding in their hands. What is the dream you're holding? What is that thing that you want to blossom? How can I support you? How can this community support you? So with that, I will say, Pile twos, I look forward to reading your comments. So that's all I have for my Pile twos. I just want to thank you so much for this reading, and just say, may guidance that is in love and light be with you. And all the best. Until next time. Okay, welcome Pile 3 to your pick a card reading for Akashic Records. The card we have on the left is going to be the current situation, and the card on the right is going to be the best course of action. Upon opening the records for my Pile 3s, I noticed an energy, both a feeling and a visual, of someone falling backwards, but very slowly, very softly. Kind of like the energy of when you're fully relaxed and you're just leaning back and just kind of letting go. So with that, let's check out the first card we have here for the current situation. It is Three of Pentacles in reverse. When I show my work, others give support. And that card is actually in reverse. So maybe for some of my Pile 3s, you're feeling that other people are not showing up for you, that you're feeling that the work that you're putting in isn't maybe getting noticed, and you're not really getting the community or support around what you're trying to build and what you're trying to create. It does look like there's some new energy for my pile threes. And I'm just going to sit with that for a moment here. See if anything else comes through. So the question I have in my mind right now is, how does the Three of Pentacles work in conjunction with that energy of falling backwards? It almost feels like what I'm getting from the records is that my pile threes feel like they can. Actually what I'm getting right now is that I get the strong sense that my pile threes feel like if they fall backwards, someone's going to catch them. But that's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing both in the cards and in the records is there's a need to be a little bit more cautious around maybe I'm feeling this looking backwards, kind of like checking over your shoulder, kind of seeing, is there really someone who's behind me that is going to support me in what I'm doing? So that's where we're starting. Let's see what the best course of action card is. Page of Swords. I take care of the detail and stay in control. Okay, so it looks like the best course of action we're seeing based on these cards is that there's a need to actually look behind you, maybe to check and see, like dot your I's, cross your T's. You're really wanting to get into the details and be a little more vigilant about whatever the certain circumstance is coming up, that your new endeavor that you're kind of working on, and really ensuring that you have, all your ducks in a row, and that you're feeling that you have the support behind you. You don't want to falsely, it's that trust exercise where people fall backwards into someone's arms. My pile threes are falling and they're peaceful. They're peaceful while they're falling, but they're not even checking. It's almost like they're so confident that there's somebody behind them, or they have the support behind them, that they're not even just double checking. And I feel like with this card, it's saying, hey, just check and make sure that that foundation and that support is really there. If it's not, where's the missing piece? What's the gap in your knowledge that you might need to pay more attention to in order to really get some momentum around what you're trying to build? I'm going to also get a couple oracle cards here to just get a little more deeper. So I think for the first, actually I'm going to do, for pile 3, I'm going to go back to the tarot cards. I want to get another card that gives us a little bit deeper understanding between these two cards. And I think what I am... Yeah, let's ask for another tarot card about this current situation. Okay. I have two cards that popped out here. Page of Cups. I am as young as I choose to feel. And we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. I trust myself to see the truth. Okay, so the energy I'm getting around these two additional cards is that maybe you're somebody that might have a tendency to be a little more naive. That you're, I'm getting a lot of like youthful energy, and also energy that is hopeful. I kind of compare it to like what it feels like when you're just younger and you're when you get older, you're kind of like, how did I survive that? Or like, how did I get through that? Or how did I do that? Like just different things that happen in your life where you're like, maybe you look at as you're older and you might have the perspective of saying like, that was probably like a little risky or unsafe. That could have been dangerous. But or just huge things like I moved to a different country when I was 23. Like looking back at that, doing that now in my life, I might say, oh, that's really wild. Like I can't do that. That's huge. I think that something I get off some of these cards and even that energy of falling backwards is that my pile threes kind of are still tapping into that confidence, but it's confidence that feels, it's not like boastful, it's not like in your face confidence, it's just like confidence in your actions. Like you're making choices and doing things without needing approval and without needing to get guidance. Like you're just kind of going for things in your life, but it's also needing you, when I trust myself I trust myself to see the truth in reverse. I'm still getting that kind of energy of kind of remaining blind to the details that you need to pay attention to. What I'm getting with this pile three is just that, like, you're pretty good. You're moving forward in the ways that bring you joy and light you up, and in things that you feel called to or feel pulled to, whether it be a relationship or a job, or maybe I'm really getting like the sense that maybe my pile threes are entrepreneurs, and you're feeling totally good about doing that. You've got that kind of youthful energy where no matter what age you are, you're tapping into, I want to be clear, like you could be any age, but you're tapping into that same kind of energy that someone has when they haven't been let down by the world or anything. And they're kind of like, yeah, why can't I do it? Like, why can't I do it? Why can't I go and achieve that thing, or move across the country, or travel abroad and work off my laptop? Like whatever it is you feel good with, you feel good with where you're at and where you're going. But there is this need to kind of stay awake. Stay awake, paying attention, noticing the details, being vigilant, not just living in the dream of it all. I think it's great to live in the manifestation, the dream, the desire of whatever you're trying to create, but you also need to be grounded into the details, grounded into the foundation that's going to help stand up that dream. And part of that too is that opportunity to trust yourself, to open your eyes, to see the truth. If truth was behind you, when I see this visual of you falling backwards, what I'm seeing is that you're very trusting, but you may not be realizing you need to even look a little deeper or pay more attention. So let's get some oracle cards to see just like how else you can get a little more focused on the details in a way that doesn't feel like, whenever I see something like stay in control, pay attention to the details, it's not something I am drawn to saying in that way. I think there's there's a fine line between being hypervigilant and vigilant. So, being hypervigilant could bring, like, if you're staying too much in control, you're also, you're not also staying open. I feel my pile threes are very chill. They're very open. But I think they have an opportunity to pay attention to what's around them. Actually, what's also coming in is this might not even solely be about being an entrepreneur or something work related or something dream related you're trying to create. It's also in your interactions with your relationships with people. So whether it's romantically or friendships or work friends, you need to just be mindful that they may not all have your back, and it's okay to just pay attention. I said look over your shoulder. What I mean by that is I don't think you need to be looking over your shoulder as danger's coming. I think you just need to be mindful and await, like, see who really truly is going to be there. Like, look behind you. Don't just lean back. Don't just fall back. You want to fall back into knowing that there is community behind you and people that you can trust. Okay, so the oracle card I am receiving right now is Remembrance. This is a call to remember. So you might want to pay attention to signs of 1111. Remembrance also stands for just, I think that this is coming through as like an anchor. So when we talk about paying attention to details and noticing, like, paying attention, staying in control, I think there's also like these anchors that help us stay in control, help us stay connected and grounded. And I feel like the Remembrance card is coming out as a way to say, when you see 1111, when you see if 1111 isn't the numbers that resonate with you, if there's a time that you always look at the clock, like if there's like numbers that you always see, use those as like anchor points, as a way to kind of anchor and connect with remembering that you need to check in with yourself, check in with what you're feeling, what's behind you. Do you have, are your T's crossed? Are your I's dotted? Are your ducks in a row? All those things. Like, you want to make sure that you're kind of having something that's going to help you remind yourself to keep checking in, because my pile threes will just go. like, I'll be honest, I don't even know if my pile threes are going to find this video. They're on their way. They're on their path. They're really into what they're doing. But I think that they need to also pay attention, use these little symbols and signs as a way to remind yourself to check in. That you need to check in. You need to make sure that you're paying attention to details. You need to make sure that you have people behind you that are really supporting you, that really truly want to see you succeed. I'm reading another oracle card here. So, what you want, where you're headed, is in your hands. That's what I get with this universe card. Such a beautiful card. What I get is that, like, so I keep seeing this image of a woman. She's in like a sweater, but kind of like maybe like a sweatshirt and like shorts, and the sun is behind her, and she looks like she's sitting like on a mountain or a rock or something. And what I'm getting with this card in that image is I see some pile threes, like you're on top of the world. You're in this space of chillness, calmness. You're good. You're relaxing. You're laying back into the energy. But sometimes the details get missed because you're almost too relaxed. You're not, there is a need that you can increase your attention to detail and kind of make sure that the relationships you have in your life, they are people that are going to support you. The things you are agreeing to do are things that are safe. And what I mean by that is if you're signing contracts, if you're making deals with people, if you're collaborating, that it's a situation where you're being clear, you're reading the terms and conditions, you're noting what else might be in the fine print. Anything that would be a blind spot might be something worth looking at. And I have no doubt that my pile threes are going to be on top of the world. They're going to have the universe in their hands if they can harness their like chill way of being with also the need to pay attention to the details, pay attention to the yeah, I'm just hearing pay attention to the blind spots. Um, it's this is not a reading that makes me want to say like I really want to warn you. I think it's more just be mindful. Be mindful. You're going out, you're taking a chance on something, it's feeling good, and you just want to make sure that, everyone's got your best interest at heart, that nobody's out there trying to get ahead and not support you in a genuine way. So, that's all I'm seeing for my pile threes. I really hope that this reading has resonated with you. And I just thank you so much for watching, and may guidance that is in love and light be with you. Till next time. Okay, welcome, pile four, to your pick a card reading for the Akashic Records. So, right off the bat, when I opened the records for pile four, you all did not want me there. You're like, can we get this over with? I feel like I need to make this reading very, very fast because my pile fours are just like, okay, hurry up and get to it. One, there was like an energy that was like pulling me this way and that way. And then there was like a rushing through as I was trying to open the records. So okay, we'll get right to it since pile four wants me to get right to it. This card we have on the left is going to be the current situation. I had two cards come out for best course of action. So, pile four, current situation, temperance. I find clarity through calm. This card was in reverse. So, that does not surprise me, I'll be honest, with what I was feeling in the records. My pile fours aren't really interested in slowing down, aren't really interested in remaining calm. I feel like my pile fours are ones that really that have a lot of energy and kind of really want people to get to the point. They want to get to their point. They want to move forward. And also, I got, this is coming through, is that my pile fours are not interested in being seen. Or struggling with being seen, I should say. So maybe some of you are not interested in being seen, and maybe some are struggling and actually working through the challenge of not being seen. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if that's a common phrase. When I work in coaching, I think that's a thing that comes up often. We talk about being seen when people are really seeing you. But I just want to break that down a little bit. So being seen is, well, it's just that, like seeing the whole person, seeing the layers of the person, seeing, it's when someone really hears you, when they really understand who you are as a person, as opposed to just being like, you're a person and just running around. Like, it's being noticed. And on like a deep level. So if that's something that you're currently struggling with, I just want to send you lots of love. I think being seen, we can think at some point through our lives, we can think, oh yeah, people see us, and then it can hit home that like maybe we're really not being seen for who we really are. And there's so many little fine details about seeing somebody and what that really means. So sending you so much love. If there's a way that the self-empowered YouTube community can support you, please leave a comment. If you don't feel comfortable, I totally get that. Just know that we're here, just sending you love and surrounding you with that opportunity to be seen, and maybe the path that you're on, and how you're working with your relationship with being seen. This is something that comes up too at people's workplaces often as well. Like maybe it's not a workplace, but whatever kind of work you do, if you're not being recognized, if you're not being seen for who you are and what you bring to the table, that can also be in relationships. If you're in a romantic relationship, if you're a parent, if you're a child and your parent isn't seeing and recognizing what you're doing, what you're accomplishing, and who you are, I think that there's a lot of value in being seen, and there's a lot of challenges, and I think a lot of us feel that way. And I'm stressing a lot because I really do think, as I've talked to more and more people, that it is common to feel those feelings. But what I'm getting also just with my pile fours is maybe you haven't even slowed down enough to notice that that's been something that's bothering you. So with that, let's go to what is the best course of action. Another reverse card, the World. So I celebrate life and welcome new energy. You've got a lot of energy, and what I see when it's in reverse is still this need to, not that it's bad to celebrate life and new energy, but it's also maybe time to transition. And yeah, transition. Oh, sorry. Actually, I want to say more of what I'm getting is it's time. What I'm getting is it's time to just stop, to literally take that energy and downshift it totally. Like to the point where you're just stopping, like you're pausing. So you might be in the flow of life, in the flow of everything, and this isn't a slowing down even. This is a stop. Just stop. Just take a pause. Just take a pause. So 2 cards came out. The second one for best course of action is I have the energy I need to realize my goals. 3 of Wands. Right away, what I'm getting with my 3 of Wands is, and the World card, is that when you're in that pausing state, when you're stopping, when you're finding that calm, you're going to, it's misleading, because then you think, if I slow down, if I stop, what's going to happen? But really what's going to happen is you're going to have a different type of energy. You're going to have the type of energy that's going to get you clear. It's going to give you clarity. It's going to give you the opportunity to really realize what is important to you. Maybe you have multiple goals, but maybe there's just one. Maybe by pausing, it's going to help you reprioritize what you want to focus on, where you want to go, and what's truly your goal. What is your goal? And what's the people around you? What goal are they putting around you? What obligations or priorities are they putting in your life that might not be a priority of yours? So when you stop, when you pause, you're going to be able to get a different type of energy, because you're going to be clearer, you're going to be more focused, and you're going to be able to channel that energy towards something that really matters. So let's go ahead with that and get some oracle cards. I'm not surprised. I got a lot of tough energy from my pile fours. You're tough. You're super tough. Not in a bad way, in a way that just is that warrior energy. It's the energy of you're a fighter. You're somebody who might have had it a little harder in life. You might have had more challenges. You have had more things to overcome. And there's a certain momentum that you've gotten by pushing through. And it's a momentum that, pausing or stopping doesn't feel great, because you're used to fighting. You're used to being a warrior. You're used to really, really fighting for what you want and fighting to get things done. And what I'm seeing here is that this is just, if you lean into this slowing down and stopping energy and focus, and so you'll get focused, you'll get clear, you'll be more intentional, you're going to have a different type of warrior energy. I want to get another card here. What type of energy will you have? Let's see. Okay. When you go through this process, when you're finding clarity through calm, so when you're shifting your energy, so this energy was in reverse, that's your current situation, but when you shift that energy around, you get calm, you slow down, you're stopping, maybe putting an end to the way you used to be. You're also going to be more focused. You're going to realize where you want to put your mind, where you're going to put your mind, body, spirit, what is important. Your energy is shifting. You're a warrior now in a different way. You're a warrior that's intentional. And why are you being intentional? Because your soul is going through a journey. I'm getting a lot of transformation with this card. I'm also seeing, as you can see in this card, there's like a stairwell. So what I'm also seeing is my pile fours, you're going to have some kind of transformation. If you go down this path, of slowing down, I want to say stopping. I keep saying slowing down because I do want to be mindful that in some instances, slowing down can feel like stopping. But it's and we still have to get things done. I totally get that. But if you're stopping this energy and getting quiet and being still, you're gonna be tapping into something that is far bigger for you, way more transformational. My pile fours might be already on a soul journey, but your transformation is at the beginning, is what I'm getting. You're going through, there's a lot more ahead of you, and not in a bad way. I feel like I said that with a lot of emphasis. There's a lot ahead of you, to get excited for, a lot ahead of you. And, I want to speak into also my own soul journey. Like, I get these little presents along the way. So it's not like there is a long way to go before you see the benefits of what you could do to shift and change your current situation. You're going to get the confirmations along the way. It's kind of like when I see the stairs. A hill has no stop, right? Like when you go up a hill, you're just moving along. But I feel like with a stair, you get to that next stop or next stair and you stop and you're like, I did that one. And then I did that one. You can almost even count your progress in a way. So not that you can't in other ways, but I see my pile fours. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but what I'm seeing is that there's a really great new beginning on the other side of shifting this energy. And you just need to stop. You just need to take a pause. And you're a fighter. You are a fighter. My pile fours are tough. I felt it right when I was opening the records. I was like, oh my goodness. I think they're going to fight me for being here. But I think that's because there might have been broken trust. There might have been challenges in your life, and you've had to really fight for yourself. You've had to really prove that you're strong and that you can do it, and that you have that. And it's all about that momentum, but that momentum needs to be channeled and shifted into something that works for you. And the only way that's going to work for you is you've got to stop, pause, reprioritize everything. Like reprioritize your energy to get to the place where you just can soak in who you are and get calm, get quiet, channel that energy, slow it down. And it's going to come back as a strong backbone for change in your life. So all I'm seeing for my pile fours, I just want to thank you so much for being here for this reading. I want to thank our master teachers and loved ones. And may guidance that is in love and light be with you. Until next time.